Hi guys, welcome back to Fun with Cannabis. And today we'll be showing you how to make chocolate, THC infused chocolate. Now, for this recipe, you will need half a kilogram of chocolate chips, 500 grams. I'm using this mustard squeezy container here so that we could fill our chambers afterwards. We're going to be using, let's see how much, we have 40 grams of coconut oil infused with Rick Simpson oil, which is pretty much pure cannabis oil. And for this recipe, this is the Rick Simpson oil that I've made. I will be showing you how to make this oil in an upcoming video. So for this recipe, we will be using 2 grams of Rick Simpson oil infused into the cannabis oil. And with the 500 grams of chocolate chips, we'll be making 50 servings of 10-gram serving chocolates. So that will give us, if the math is right, 50 servings with 2,000 milligrams. We will be having 40 milligrams per chocolate. That's pretty strong. I've been making these for my mom now for the past year, and guys, it's really changed her life. It's been a blessing for us. She's been suffering from vertigo, a few health problems, cholesterol, high blood pressure, and I've put her on these chocolates now, and it's been a year. The first chocolates I made for her were not 40 milligram doses. I started her off lightly with approximately 10 to 15 milligram dose. And now I've worked up to 40 milligram dose. And her vertigo is completely gone. She's 76 years old. Keep that in mind. But, it's really changed our family's life. And today I'll be showing you how I make this. So, like we said, we will need the Rick Simpson, and even distillate would work for this recipe. If you're using any other extract, just make sure it's activated. What this means is, in the raw form, the chemical compound is THCA, and we need to turn that into a THC, and the way we do that is by heating it up. So the reason why we could smoke raw flower without heating it up is because once we light it, the activation process happens. But in cooking, we need to put it in the oven. I put it in the oven at 230 degrees for approximately 25 minutes. And then the chemical compound THCA has converted to THC. And this is activated, and this is what we need to do for the medicine to do its job. Next, we're going to use some type of a mixer. I like to use this frother. It's simple, portable. You get it from any big box store has it. And next, your molds. Now, guys, you don't have to go crazy with the molds. These are 10 gram ice trays, actually, for making ice cubes. And they've got the silicone bottoms, which is great because once we want to pop the molds out, we could just press them down and they pop out. And they're durable, guys. I got these from the dollar store, $1.25 each, you know, and you've got 21 molds in each tray. And lastly, we will need some type of a double cooker. What I use is I use a rice cooker and a mason jar. So I put water in the rice cooker. I started off on high. I get the jar warm and the water. This rice cooker won't actually bring it to a full boil, but close enough where it starts dancing around. And once it gets hot, I introduce the chocolate chips in there, and I'll show you how everything is done coming up. Okay, so now we've set our rice cooker to high to cook. Mine's got two settings, a cook and a warm setting. I started off with the cook setting, and we have our coconut oil here. I've already put 1 gram, 1 syringe inside here, and I've mixed it up. You're gonna wanna, coconut oil comes in a solid form in room temperature. You're gonna wanna add, I like to add about 10% coconut oil to the weight of chocolate. I'm using 500 grams here, and I'm using 40 grams of coconut oil, plus the 2 grams, which will give us a 42 grams, which is just under 10% of coconut oil to chocolate. And it gives it a nice melting texture. It's great, guys. It melts in your mouth. It's fantastic. So now what I'm going to do, again, guys, with the RSO or distillate, whatever you're going to use, you're going to want your coconut oil to be warm. So while I've got this warming up, and you could see, because it's almost coming to a boil, I think that's the hottest it's going to get. I'm just using a Pyrex small, what is this? This is a 30 teaspoon capacity glass. It's safe, it's good, it's got the measurements all around it. I don't know if the camera will show that. So it's a great tool, guys, to get and use. So I will just put this inside the hot water, and while the coconut is in solid form, it will start to melt in there. And again, you can't burn it because we're using a water bath, so the temperature won't exceed like 95 degrees Celsius. So while we got our coconut oil submerged into our hot water bath, you could take your concentrate, in my case Rick Simpson oil, which I made. And again, guys, I will post a video on how I make this from start to finish with raw flour. So I will inject this slowly inside the coconut oil. I don't know if you guys could see that on the camera. I'll try to lift it without making a mess. If you guys could see that oozing down in there. Just slowly and easy. You know, guys, Rick Simpson oil is a really good raw starting ingredient. I use it for dabs, smoking, joints, edibles. I take it orally, the size of a grain of rice under my tongue. You know, it's good for many things in its raw form. So now that we have that in there, heated up, I will take my whisking tool. It's got a button on top, and I'm gonna just pulse it like that in there because I don't want to make a mess. And I'll show you how I do that right now. So with the coconut oil warmed up in its liquid form, I will put the frother in there. I'll put my hand on top like this and close it up so it doesn't spill out, and I'll pulse it. If you guys could see that, I'll try to get my hand out of the way here. But we just pulse it quickly just to get all the concentrate, your distillate, your RSO, whatever you choose to use. You want it mixed up well in there. You want, the coconut oil is has a lot of fat in it, and the concentrate is fat soluble, so it mixes in great with a little bit of heat and a little bit of whisking. You get an even distribution inside your coconut THC infused oil. And again, guys, you could use this method on its own with distillate or any type of THC you're gonna use, and put it back in the fridge. It will solidify, and you can use it as a butter for cooking, for toast, for, you know, pretty much anything. And in this case, we're gonna use it in chocolate. There, and that should be good. And it's nice and clean. After we're done mixing, we lift up the frother and we pulse it again, so any oil that is stuck here with centrifugal force, it will whip around the inside wall of the glass and drip back down, so we have a clean whisker with no mess. So we'll just put this back inside the hot water bath here just to warm it up, because now our next step is we're gonna add the chocolate chips into the mason jar. The mason jar is preheated, so after we add the chocolate chips in there, we're gonna add our infused coconut oil, and then we're gonna wait for everything to pretty much melt down, and we will use our whisker to give it a good mix. So stay tuned. Okay, so this is pretty much heated up, guys. So we can remove, it's been about 5 minutes now. So we will remove our THC and CBD infused coconut oil from the heat. We will give it another mix real quick. Whisk off to the sides and nice and clean again. So now with our water pretty much coming to a soft boil here, and our mason jar being warmed up, you can see that, we're gonna go ahead and add our 500 grams of chocolate chips. Chocolate chips I'm using here is Hershey's. Made a mess there, guys. Sorry, apologize about that. There we go, and it's already starting to melt. Now we're gonna add our coconut oil infused with cannabis distillate or Rick Simpson oil, what I'm using in this case. Add it right in with the chocolate chips. just like that, and we just allow everything to get in there, guys. And again, if you're a beginner, just use a lower dose of whatever your concentrate choice. And now we're just gonna wait till this kind of melts down, guys, and we're gonna use our whisking tool to mix everything up thoroughly. You don't want it if it's not mixed up thoroughly, guys. You may have blotches in there or chunks of pretty much raw coconut oil, which will send you for a really bad or good trip. It depends on how you react to it. So that's why the mixing process next is going to be very, very important, and that we get it right. Just checking the consistency, and it's starting to melt down. Can't put the whisk in there yet because we still have chunks of chocolate chips, so we just want everything to liquefy, and then we could go ahead with the mixing process. And you guys, if you guys don't have, you know, a frother, that's fine. You could use a hand blender, a spoon, a fork, anything you got around the house. Just make sure it's well mixed. Hold this and try and get deeper down and rotate this. Give it a good mix. It's melting down pretty good. You could see that. Oh, it smells great, guys. The combination of the terpenes in the oil and the scent of the coconut oil and the chocolate, it's heaven. So we're going to try mixing this now, whisking it, and see how it works. Starting to blend in well. You can still feel a few chunks in there. It's not warm enough. We'll let it just evenly heat up, and then it will be easier to whisk. It will be thinner, and we'll be able to mix everything in well. Get a good bond with the chocolate and the cannabis and the coconut oil. mixing it up a little bit more now. And like I said, guys, you guys could use a whisking tool, you could use a hand blender, you can use whatever works. I just have this laying around, and I use this for making frappes in the morning. I got hooked when I went to Greece 5 years ago. Everybody drank cold frappes in the morning. And it just kind of stuck to me. So I have a whole bunch of these laying around, and that's mixing well in there, guys. We're getting even distribution of the coconut oil with the chocolate. Just take your time, make sure it's thoroughly mixed. I like to start from the bottom and work my way up, and then back to the bottom and work my way up. Give it a final stir, make sure everything is good in there. Excellent. We've got a nice liquid consistency. We're gonna reduce our heat down to low now, so that we don't keep it at this temperature for too long, guys. It's chocolate, it doesn't need much to melt. Now we have it fully melted. And it's a nice liquid consistency. We're ready to transfer the chocolate into our squeezable container and proceed to fill our molds, which I'll show you in the next step. Stay tuned. Okay guys, we're back. So now we have our squeezable container. And for this step, guys, because the jar will be hot, I take a paper towel, 2 pieces, I fold it in half, and then I will show you how I wrap it around my mason jar, just so that I don't burn myself. So I just removed this from the rice cooker, from the double boiler. And guys, it is hot, so be careful. I do have gloves on, and I'm using a paper towel. So I'm just gonna pour the liquefied chocolate mix into my squeezable container here. I'm trying not to make a mess. And now we got that all poured in there. I'm going to put this back into the hot water bath for a next batch. So now we're going to put our cap on top here. And guys, you know, this is, again, you know, I got it from the dollar store, $1.25 for this. I cut the tip a little bit bigger than it originally was. And so we're gonna take our molds now, because cutting the tip, guys, it just comes out a better flow. So now we got our molds here. So I'm gonna start with the one just to demonstrate what I do. And guys, it's easy, it's quick, it's clean. We just tip our squeezable container over, and we have the tip there, you can see, and I put it right into the chamber and I squeeze. And then I let go and I go to the next chamber, squeeze. Unsqueeze, next chamber, squeeze. Because once you squeeze, it stops the flow for about a second, so you have time to jump to the next one. This container holds 3 rows of 7 chambers, so that gives us 21 chambers at 10 grams a chamber. So we have 10-gram chocolates with approximately 40 milligrams of THC CBD. So that's our first container, guys. We'll do our second one. It's very nice, easy, quick, clean. Find it easier than using spoons to fill them. Everything's contained in your squeezable container. And again, to wash it, guys, you know, hot water and dish soap and a sponge. And we're not gonna get exactly what I hoped for here, guys, because we do have some left in the jar. But there you have it. 40.5 doses. So now what I like to do, guys, is I remove it from the paper towel, and the bottom of these, the dimples, are silicone. And I find that I like to rub them back and forth. And I don't know if you could hear that, they start vibrating. And guys, this allows all the chocolate to settle in there. And if there's any air pockets, they will come to the top, and it will ensure bubble-free chocolates. There you have it. Now we're gonna put these in the fridge for 30 minutes, and they could stay overnight. You could keep them in these trays, but what I will do is I will put them in the fridge. I will let them solidify, cool down, and then I will show you how I package them and how we remove them from the trays. So stay tuned. Thanks. Okay, welcome back. So we have left our chocolates in the fridge for 24 hours, and now that they've cooled down and they have solidified, we're ready to pop them out of their molds and into their containers. So what I've got here is just a plastic container from, you know, some previous cookies. I lined the bottom with parchment paper, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a layer of chocolates, and then we're gonna put parchment paper on top of that and another layer. So we're gonna have always a piece of parchment paper dividing the 2 or 3 layers. So here I'm just using a bread baking pan here. So with these molds here, guys, so what I do, now that they're solidified and they're silicone, I flip them upside down. I get a good grip right around the center here, and I just pop them out. Okay, that was easy. So, and this is what our chocolates look like. They look like a Rulo. Okay, so now we're gonna start layering our container here. You can use any size container, guys. It doesn't have to be round, square, shallow, deep, whatever works. And these are approximately 40 milligrams of THC CBD per serving, per chocolate. So, you know, they're pretty strong. Not the strongest. They could be way stronger, but you know, the good thing about these edibles is that you can always take half. You can always start with a quarter and work your way up, because it's everybody has a different tolerance to it. So because my plastic tray here has a bubble on top there, I think I'm gonna stop there, and I'm gonna, so guys, I pre-cut these here. Okay, I just took a sheet of parchment and I took my container, flipped it upside down, traced it around with a pen, a gel pen that I had, a Sharpie would work too, and then I just cut around it with a scissor, and you know, they're ready to go. So I'll put that in there. It's not exact size. I cut them bigger, but so we're gonna continue with a second row here. Maybe this one here, we're gonna alternate them upside down. So you could store these in the fridge. I like to store them in the fridge because I don't know, I just like them cold when I put them, and I like them just to melt in my mouth. And they taste great, you guys. And we just work our way around, just fill up. And these here, you know, I mean, I usually make about 100 edibles at a time for my mom, and she takes one a night. So, you know, they hold up fine in the fridge for, I would say, six months would be a fair estimate to be safe, that they would hold in the fridge. So if you're making edibles for medicinal use, personal use, you know, I think you can make up to a 6-month supply. It would hold up fine in the fridge. No problem at all. Like I said, I haven't tried longer than 6 months, so I can't say for sure. Okay. Oh, not too bad. Now we're gonna put our other pre-cut sheet of parchment on top of that one. And we're gonna continue layering until it's full. Thanks for watching.